What is up, everyone, and welcome back for another video. My name is Ivan, and on today's episode of Ivan's Chicano Kitchen, we're going to be making a ceviche. A ceviche is basically a dish that's comprised of either fish or shrimp that you typically cook in a bunch of acid. Today we're going to be using limes, and basically the citric acid in the lime is what's going to cook the protein. You don't have to be over a hot stove during, especially right now that it's the summer. We definitely want to be eating dishes that are cooling us off. So this is actually the perfect dish for that. And with that, let's get cooking. Alrighty, everyone, the first step is for me to put the lime juice onto the shrimp. I have 2 pounds of shrimp here that I already peeled, deveined, and chopped up into about, I'd say between 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch pieces, very small. That way the pickling process is faster and you have a nice little bite of shrimp. So we're gonna go ahead and take our limes, which I also already cut up. I have about 7 or 8 limes here. We're gonna squeeze all of those onto the shrimp. And with that, we'll start the cooking process. So let's go ahead and do that. You wanna get all the juice in there. And like I said before, the citric acid takes it from that grayish color that's a little bit translucent to an opaque pink, and that's how you know it's basically ready to go. Actually, while I'm putting the lime juice, you'll notice that it'll start turning color once the protein starts to react to all the citric acid that's falling in there. Alrighty, now that we're done putting all the lime juice into the shrimp, we're going to move on to the next step, and with that we'll be back in another moment. Welcome back, guys. So the next step is actually going to be for me to prepare our vegetables. I have onion here, I have a whole jalapeno, 1 serrano pepper, 4 Roma tomatoes, 1 bunch of cilantro. I'm only going to use about 3/4 of it, or maybe half. And I'm actually using pickling cucumbers. When I went to the grocery store, this is all they had. So I improvised. I grabbed something because this makes the dish, and I'm sure these are going to be delicious as well. So with that, let's go ahead and slice up this onion and start off with this, and let's do that. You want to try to get a fine dice. That way when you throw your vegetables into the citric acid, into the lime juice, it also cooks rather quickly, and you're not having, raw vegetable flavor and stuff. You want to do a fine dice, as you can see here. fine right there. You want to have it be uniform so it all cooks relatively at the same time. It's good right there. We're gonna just go ahead and throw our onion into a bowl, and then we'll throw all our vegetables in at once, because these don't take very long to cook when you throw them into the lime juice. Now we're gonna do the serrano and jalapeno next. You wanna definitely be careful, wear gloves if you're very sensitive to spice, because these will get your hands going crazy. You wanna cut the tail off, cut it in half, and then you wanna devein it. This white part right here, this is called the pith, and this part's super bitter, so you don't want that in your food. Just like in bell peppers or anything else like that, you don't want any of that, because it'll ruin a perfectly good vegetable. There we go, we got all that out. Once I take the pith and the seeds out, we're actually gonna cut these into nice little long strips, which is basically a julienne cut. And we're gonna be cutting that nice and uniform and thin as possible as well, or as small as possible. That way we're not getting a huge bite of jalapeno and killing our taste buds. So that's a good bite right there. And then you wanna take that, line them all up. Alrighty guys, so welcome back. The next step is I already got the onion, the jalapeno, and the serrano in there. I'm gonna throw in the cilantro next, tomato and cucumbers, and the shrimp is actually, as you guys can see, it's already turning pink, so that means it's pretty close to being cooked. It only takes about half an hour for it to cook really well. As you can see, it's already pink. It's obviously there's still some gray in there, but yeah, it should be almost ready. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and chop up this cilantro. The cilantro is so aromatic. As soon as you cut it up, it smells so good. So I have about 3/4 of a head here of cilantro that I'm throwing in with the other vegetables. And with that, we'll be right back with the next vegetable, which is going to be tomatoes. Alrighty guys, so the next step is actually going to be for me to chop up the tomatoes. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to try to do a fine cut. And I know it's a little bit harder with tomatoes because they're so flimsy. But we'll try our best. We'll do a nice little cube on them. And when we get back, we'll do the cucumbers after that. Alright guys, welcome back. So the next step, which is basically going to be the final step before I assemble it, is going to be for me to dice up the cucumbers. So let's go ahead and do that next. And with that, we'll do that. We'll chop up the cucumbers. We'll toss all the vegetables and shrimp together. I'll make a tostada and I'll take a great big bite and I'll let you guys know what it tastes like. So let's go ahead and do these cucumbers first. Okay guys, so I already peeled the cucumbers. So I'm gonna slice them in half. And typically I'll take the seeds out, but these seeds seem to be like a little bit not so big, so they're not gonna be so like predominant in the food. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave the seeds in. We're gonna cut them up just like the jalapenos. We're gonna cut them in half and then in half and then in half, make little strips, and then we'll dice them up nice and fine. And with that, we're basically gonna be done with the dish. And let's go ahead and cut these up. I'll show you guys how I do it, and we'll go from there. Alrighty guys, so I got the cucumbers diced up, the tomato diced up, the cilantro chopped up, the jalapenos and serrano diced up. And now all we're gonna do is assemble it. I'm gonna add a big dash of salt. And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and assemble a tostada afterwards. And I'll take a great big bite and I'll let you guys know. So I'm gonna throw in my cucumbers in here. And in this dish, I have all my other vegetables that are already prepared. We're gonna just go ahead and throw all that in there. Before I even assemble this already smells so good. And then you wanna just give that a really good mix. The shrimp is basically already cooked. It's been about half an hour that it's been in the lime juice. They're mostly almost pink, and we're gonna just let this sit out for another half an hour in the refrigerator. And I'm just gonna go ahead and add a big dash of salt, say about a tablespoon, maybe 3/4 of a tablespoon. Give it a nice little toss again. And that, my friends, is a ceviche ready to go. It smells super citrusy. I can smell the shrimp. I don't know, it has a particular smell that anytime we make ceviche, this is exactly what it smells like. And it smells really, really good. So before I put it away for it to get nice and cold, I'm gonna make a tostada. So a tostada is basically a crispy fried tortilla. You can find these in basically any grocery store. I'm gonna go ahead and put a nice little generous amount of our ceviche right on there. We have Valentina, you can use tapatio, whatever type of hot sauce you have at home. Put a nice little amount of that on there. And as you guys can see, it looks really, really yummy. Now let's go ahead and take a bite. Oh my God. It's so good. You get crunchy from the vegetables, from the tostada. The shrimp are super soft and juicy. It's so citrusy. You get a little bit of spice coming off the jalapeno and serrano. The cilantro adds an awesome herbaceousness, and it just breaks through all that acidity. And it's just delicious. It's the perfect summer dish. I really welcome you guys to try this out. If you guys do, let me know. Put it in the description. Leave a comment. Please like, share, subscribe. Let all your friends know about my channel. Say, hey, my friend Ivan started a YouTube channel, and let them know to subscribe. It really helps me grow, and I'll really appreciate it. Once again, it's Ivan with Ivan's Chicano Kitchen, and until next time, we'll see you guys soon.